Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we're diving deep into the fascinating rise of a celebrity brand that I've been following for a very long time called K-Beauty. So K-Beauty is a cosmetic brand that was co-founded by Katrina Kaif, who is a Bollywood actress, who you should know, and e-commerce giant Nykaa. K-Beauty is so interesting because it's managed to break through the clutter of India's highly competitive beauty market, which is a feat that's not easily accomplished by celebrity brands, at least from my experience. Because I know it might sound counterintuitive because as a celebrity, you're well known, so why would your brand not do well? In fact, there are many mistakes that celebrities do when they launch their brand, and they have a very unique position in that they have to be very careful about the way in which they launch their brand because everyone's eyes are on them, right? Which doesn't happen with regular people trying to launch their own items. But celebrities are in a different ball game in terms of how they need to go about launching a brand. And they don't always get it right. So what did Katrina Kaif and her team get right? Let's find out. India's beauty industry is dominated by many heavyweights like MAC, Maybelline, L'Oreal, and Lakmé. Amongst these heavyweights, K-Beauty launched in 2019 and absolutely carved out a space for itself so quickly. The numbers speak volumes. Revenues grew by 46% to reach 88 crores, approximately 10.6 million in fiscal year 2024. In the same year, profits jumped by 66%, reaching 11 crores or 1.36 million. What are the secrets behind K-Beauty's success? So here are 3 reasons that I was able to identify. Number 1, a meaningful connection with the product. Now, many celebrities assume that their fame alone can ensure the success of their brand. And so they start these ventures without a lot of thought into it, thinking that they can capitalize on this brand for passive income. But that can backfire on them. Audiences can easily see through that. What sets Katrina Kaif apart is her credibility. It's not just about promoting a product. It's her genuine passion for makeup and cosmetics that she has built and curated over time for herself that has now reaped its benefits in the form of her brand actually succeeding. Listen to Raj Shamani in this Nikhil Kamath podcast emphasize this very idea.
Second and the most important thing, in India specifically, few Bollywood brands that have started, one day they come up and be like, hey, this is my brand, use it.
Listen to the way Katrina Kaif talks about makeup, not just like her brand or her product and how she talks about it, just how she talks about makeup and cosmetics in general.
Makeup has always been one of my huge passions. Like some people like cars, some people are into shoes, whatever. For me, it's always been that way, like literally since I was a teenager. And I've done most of my own makeup through my career, worked with some of the most incredible makeup artists, and it's just always been something which I love.
This is someone who literally does her own makeup for major events. That's commitment. Like if someone's doing their own makeup for major events, and she even did her own makeup, I heard, for the Chikni Chameli song. Not a lot of actresses know how to do that. Like that already puts you at a very professional level.
It has to come from your heart. It has to be a genuine passion, because I think that is what connects to your audience, or what you could say in business terms of your consumer. Your audience can sense something when it's authentic.
There's this interview, the same interview we were looking at before, in which Nikhil Kamath asks his guests what celebrity should start what kind of brand. And someone says, oh, Ranveer Singh, easily, he should just start an energy drink brand. And then someone else said sexual wellness brand. Because the reason why people thought of these two types of products almost immediately is because the brand has to be an extension of who you are as a person in order for it to work. Ranveer Singh, it's like the moment you see him, you associate him with energy or something, sexual in nature. The personal brand has to match the product that you're launching. There's a study by BCG that shows that Gen Z places a greater value on authenticity compared to millennials. Things that they really admire about their role models are overcoming struggles to achieve success, being genuine, and having a relatable background. Katrina Kaif is a beautiful person, right? She doesn't look like the average person on the street. But then when she comes out and says, hey, there are days where I don't feel really good about myself, and I put on makeup to feel better about myself, and that that is the transformative power of makeup. She talks about how there are years, not even days or months, but years that we don't feel good about the way we look. When it comes from someone like her, it carries a lot of weight and power and that sense of relatability. And then to top that off, she uses this very powerful slogan that goes with her brand and her identity very, very well. It's K to be you. Now, we need to compare Katrina Kaif and her brand with another celebrity brand that has come out recently. And I have nothing against Deepika Padukone and her new brand, a skincare brand called 82 Degrees East. First of all, don't get me started on that name. I guess when I hear 82 Degrees East, I think of a longitude, but I can't associate that with anything else. Like, I know it's a play on, like this is the essence of India. It's a longitude that runs through the heart of India. Okay, but what does that have anything to do with skincare? And I know she's trying to get this to remind you of something that's authentically Indian. Okay, but let's let that go for a second. Let's not criticize her name right now and just get into her story. Like, what is her story to launch a skincare brand?
That's one thing that happened. And as she said, doing her own brand has always been her dream, right? And when we were discussing some of these investment ideas is when she said, look, I've always wanted to do my own brand. Can you just help me think through the right structure?
And who better, she's trusting you with her money, so who better than to start up also?
Yeah. So that sort of prompted me to do more research.
Okay, so that was her fund manager who became her co-founder of the skincare brand. And then he goes and looks for what she should probably start. He actually details the process, right? What you just heard. And then he finds skincare and she's like, okay, I'll attach my name to that. In the same video, she also talks about leaving behind a legacy. Honestly, it really comes across as she is trying to cash in on her status as Deepika Padukone. But it stands in sharp contrast to Katrina Kaif, who, when she talks about her brand, she always has a bigger purpose that she's trying to get across. The message of inclusivity and community empowerment. I know that might all sound very hackneyed. You're like, everyone talks about this. This is all just for show. She actually does make that effort to not only bring out her message in her interviews, but actually take that vision and trickle it down to the products that she is putting out there in the market as well. And that's something that we're not seeing Deepika Padukone doing. Now, when I think of skincare, who is a celebrity that I think can pull off skincare? I'll tell you. It is Alia Bhatt. I've studied her image on social media. If you look at her Instagram, she posts such natural photos of herself. She looks like someone who's very accessible. If you go on YouTube, she posts her skincare routine with her sister. She's done multiple videos, and I've actually bought her skincare routine. That girl next door is what I see when I think of Alia Bhatt, and she's managed to curate a pretty good image of herself that if she were to launch a skincare brand, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually does get buy-in from an audience, because that is her personal brand. And contrast that with Deepika Padukone again. Deepika Padukone's image, when you look at her Instagram, what she puts across, is someone who is classy and unattainable. She is not your girl next door. And when I think of skincare, I think of accessibility. It's really showing your skin for what it really is. It doesn't align that well with Deepika Padukone's brand. I know that her brand is still in its early stages, so it might be too early to comment on it, but I thought it was important to bring up because I already see some glaring mistakes within her first year itself, and maybe they can be corrected in the future, but they do stand in contrast to explain and show you what has actually been working with Katrina Kaif's brand. Number 2, deep understanding of the product market fit. One big advantage that celebrities have when they're starting their brand is their built-in star power. People are obviously going to be naturally drawn to their brand. They're not in that realm where they have to struggle to even get that first customer to believe in them. No, people already believe in that celebrity. There's a guaranteed audience from the very start. The real challenge isn't about that initial buzz, which is bound to be created. It's about maintaining and sustaining that. Take, for example, Sonam Kapoor's brand. That fizzled out. Another brand, Anushka Sharma's brand, Nush, also fizzled out. So there was an initial buzz and then gradually faded away. It shows that star power can only take you so far, and long-term success requires more than just a famous name. There needs to be a really well thought out strategy behind it, which Katrina Kaif has been able to execute since her brand has been going strong now for its 6th consecutive year. Katrina was very clear about her value proposition from the very beginning. A value proposition has to address a pain point in a customer's life, right? She wanted to create high performance makeup that is gentle on the skin, and so she's combining glamour with care. What I love about her brand is that there are very few trade-offs. Usually, when you want to increase your quality, your price will take a hit, right? It's a trade-off, right? Your price will also go up if you want to increase quality. And that's not good. That's a pain point for people, right? But you still need to enhance your quality. So what can you do about it? That's a big trade-off. But she has actually managed to maintain and not cause any of these trade-offs to hamper the success of her brand. So let's look at what are these product differentiators. Number 1, inclusive product range. She identified a major gap in the Indian beauty market by offering makeup products that are suitable for different kinds of Indian skin tones. Next, we talked about high performance makeup, which is also skin friendly. Number 3, simplified makeup. She also tries to simplify your makeup routine by making sure you don't have to use too many products to achieve a glamorous look. There's this one amazing routine I found online of hers where she literally just uses metallic eyeshadow sticks and this kajal stick. That's it, 2 things, and her eyes at the end of it look so good. And the makeup routine is also so simple to use in your own daily routine. For the customer, that's great because they don't have to purchase so many products, which also ends up becoming a huge issue. When you look at makeup routines online, people are like, buy this, a primer, and then so many other things that have to go in. It's like you want to buy just 1 or 2 things. And her routines really do that. It's just like, here are 3 things you need, and it really changes the way you look. Most of her products are also in a solid stick form, which makes things a lot easier. They're easier to apply, they won't smudge, they blend in easier. So that's a huge plus as well. Number 4, accessible premium pricing. I just love the way that she's been able to find a good niche for herself between very high-end premier brands like MAC and then the more mass-produced ones like Lakmé that are more affordable. But she has a mid-range price with very good quality. It's just brilliant brand positioning, especially in markets like India that are so price sensitive. Inclusivity is what we started off with, and we're like, oh, this is hackneyed, everyone says that. But no, in terms of her pricing, she has really allowed that inclusivity image or vision to permeate down to the pricing level. She has done that by catering to so many skin tones. She has done that by making makeup more accessible and easy to use so that people don't feel intimidated by the space, and she's breaking down those barriers. So actually, inclusivity is being reflected by all of her different product differentiators. Third, go-to-market strategy. Launching in collaboration with Nykaa was a total masterstroke. Nykaa's expertise, its widespread reach, and its already established infrastructure definitely gave K-Beauty an edge. The partnership that K-Beauty had with Nykaa really allowed this brand to scale very quickly because Nykaa is a retail store that has a very good online and offline presence. And that online presence is really important in reaching tier 2 and tier 3 cities in India. Katrina Kaif has also been very hands-on with the marketing, the designing, planning for what they're going to release in the next 1 year, and all the different aspects of the brand. They're constantly launching and coming up with new products. She constantly has a say in how the ads are going to be put out there. What's the campaign going to look like? What are the hashtags going to be? What influencers should she collaborate with? Like, she is in all of those different conversations. Katrina takes a very hands-on approach to personal tutorials that she gives online, which are actually great substitutes for commercials that tend to really go above everyone's heads, because we know commercials, they're just promoting their products, right? They're not of much value. They give brand awareness, like, hey, look, this is our brand, but it's not really providing any value to customers. But the way Katrina has, constantly puts out these tutorials, which shares very unique and practical and easy to implement ways of putting on makeup, it's deeply appreciated by people because what she's doing is essentially lowering that barrier of makeup being this intimidating space to get into. K-Beauty's success story is so interesting because it's just such a great combination of authenticity as well as this strong product market fit. And then her go-to market execution and distribution strategy was also very brilliant. So what do you think of K-Beauty's journey? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, or subscribe if you want more deep dives into interesting topics. Till next time, stay curious.